All right, well, we'll see if Spirit are able to get themselves a better hand on the lane, something that we've struggled with in both of the games we've had this series so far. This mid, definitely want to watch it. So Toronto-Tokyo did suffer from around on the Voids. See how well he's able to play the matchup into the OD.
Top already getting aggressive, like a lot of pressure coming out onto Nightfall, forcing regen. Unsure about the stick to start. No, he must have expected this to be the lane. Just a choice. I would have thought he would buy more regen.
I mean, maybe feeling that because he has an Oracle behind him, eventually going to be that extra potential for Kingslayer to keep him topped up.
Bottom lane. Toro pushing the wave forwards. Like to see it. You don't ever want to give Beastmaster Rubick advantage.
And this lane so far is proving to be pretty even. Toronto-Tokyo and GPK. Trading the CIS hit.
Stuff right here. This counts as a win in my book. Toronto-Tokyo, he's out to a lead. He's got the CS advantage for the first time today. Feeling happy so far. Pull off the mark, but no big deal. Top also doing fine. I like this from Mira, just trying to deny pulls when possible. So far, so good.
Putting a lot of damage onto Toronto-Tokyo. Oh yeah. Joey had that fairy fire. In fact, one more arcane orb might just do it. It's going to be very close. He's got to be careful. As he will. He'll be able to live, gets himself enough money to get the bottle complete too. The bottle will be out for him. Around in the lane.
You're okay with this. If you're Toronto-Tokyo, just because you have that bottle out. In the previous game, you got so crushed on those initial waves that you didn't have that regen kicking in. GPK is the one who will be time. Bottom still doing A-okay. I love this Death Prophet simply because you are so powerful, even as a 5 position. Just fine down here. Top even, mid slightly GPK favored, but should restore equilibrium soon. Now, bottle's complete as confession. Okay, it's also out of. And it's really nice Nightfall. He's just spamming skeletons to try and deal with these treants. Got them level 1 too. Perhaps why he got the stick. You know, he wants to always have these up. Sustain a bit with the life steal, but not allow collapse to shove the wave and then deny him. And also another innovation that you see this often, but some people forget. He gets a chainmail first item on Nightfall just for the bonus armor. You're playing against Blightstone. Effectively, you go from 0 to 4 armor when you're getting hit by the DP, which is pretty significant. It's like 23-24% less damage taken.
About 4-minute power runes, of course, is very important for Toronto-Tokyo here. It's a haste rune up top, as Mira will be able to keep it safe for him. So a very nice rune hit.
Mid is still just not going. It is OD. Something that we really haven't seen in these regions, but NA specifically, like this hero just gets first picked. Oftentimes for offlane, but hey, go figure.
I mean, at this stage now, level 5, just kicking out so much damage with these punches, CPK. So Tokyo, very cautious how much he steps up against this OD.
If anything, Collapse is going to have to be the one that kind of dictates the pace of this game. In fact, this offlane, really, because got the Nyx as well. They're really the only people that can do things on the map. And no, Mira, you took...
Oh, Toronto-Tokyo's rune. Why is he taking his rune?
I don't know.
Oh, no. I guess he's going to have one over there, but that's going to take him extra bit of time to walk all the way back up to his triangle.
Mira would have loved the bottle charge, but you don't get one because...
he just picked up the bounty rune. Oh, a bit of miscommunication there.
This is a weird rotation, because now Toronto, he has to go back for his own rune. Now you've got the stack low, but no longer Void Spirit there.
Oh yeah, Nightfall might be able to get a few of these. He will.
And you left mid for a while. That's most unfortunate.
I mean, I guess the move was going to be hard to make anyway. You know, he's still level 5 in the Void Spirit. You need that 6 before you're going to be able to catch a side lane by surprise. So, yeah, GPK is going to be happy with that little bit more time that he got free to himself in the mid. Free farming away. Rune will be bottled, bottled up by TORONTOTOKYO. At least, again, it is another great rune for the Void Spirit. We'll see if he's able to do something more with this one this time round, though.
He needs the Astral Step.
Yeah, he's got to get his 6.
But there's a Meteor Hammer up already. Interrupted, though. Nice play. I'm surprised GBK let that happen.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Unless you can see it. These creeps will get TORONTOTOKYO the 6. Now, he's got that potency that the side lanes do have to be prepared for. See top, collapse and Mira. Bringing on Nightfall. But just a little too speedy with the phase boots. Always able to run away from those two.
Yep, TORONTOTOKYO, he'd love to get active now. He's trying to, he's got the boots, he has Arcane Rune, Astral Steps on demand, but where do you go is the problem. Can you gank bottom? Not really. There's a Medusa Death Prophet down there. Top lane possible, but it's just the Nick stun that you have to set up, and Wraith King will have his ultimate momentarily, getting it off this top wave. Probably saved the point. And so far, so good. I mean, he actually just skills it. I approve. You don't want to go for the Greeker style here. You're really just trying to survive. Oh, wow. Frame perfect. Good job. I think Dissimulate takes at least 1 or 2 frames for the cast animation, so if he times it right, perhaps he'll be able to get it off, no problem. My brother also messaged me, very disappointed. You can BKB off of a Yul's into. It has frame priority. I'll have to test it.
You don't trust him?
I do.
I'd trust your brother.
He probably would know.
He knows Dota. As a mid, this time round they get the kill with that. Bit of extra backup. Media hammer combo does the job. Mira and Miposhka. Oh! Okay.
Quick fingers.
All right. Easy spike cappers there. As well, that's a long cooldown. 150 seconds of no ult here for GPK. As I mean, I don't even know. Maybe it would have got the kill if Mira didn't spike Carapace. I don't know. Would it have done enough damage? I guess it does do a lot of damage nowadays, and he did have a fair bit.
Could have been close.
See it again here. Nice. Clean setup to start things.
She got him.
Back in the action though. They're trying to make moves onto this OD. They're bringing 4 in to make it go on to GPK. They're not going to quite be able to do it. And GPK is actually trying to turn and chase them down. Can't get any further though. Still being a little outnumbered here by Team Spirit around mid lane.
And that is very unfortunate. The trouble is when you play with this Prophet, you know, this isn't the kind of game you want to be playing. You don't want to extend the laning phase. Prophet wants to abuse the fact that you have global TP and this massive amount of damage, the treants. That was the first move. This is the first time he's left this top lane. It's the trouble. When you lose mid like this, it just doesn't feel like you have a play. Again, the trouble is, how do you do anything bottom? It's a Deuce and a Death Prophet. You don't have playmakers. It's just TORONTOTOKYO that can really get active on this map, and to go for the triple null build. That is how much he is suffering at the moment.
Bottom up. Progression on yatoro will force him to stone gaze. We'll see to the side. Miposhka is going to walk right into GPK. He's already just starting to see GPK having once again just that much more impact. The laning stages compared to TORONTOTOKYO.
Yep, now they do mid lane to
Radiant's
save.
bottom
Tap
tower
that, he'll
is
get level
under
6
attack.
up. Top lane, Nightfall. Yeah, you're not going to kill him. He's got ultimate prepared and rushing the Radiance. I love that to see.
Radiant structures
Being greedy.
are fortified.
And
Radiant's
bot
bottom
lane,
tower
you're forced
is
to do
under
so
attack.
away. It's easy and a Beastmaster. So the tower pressure is certainly going to be there.
Your attempt was pathetic.
Radiant's
Collapse.
bottom tower
He's
is
trying to get
fortified.
more involved in this game. He's going to push top, but yeah, they're just going to respond. And OD's here.
Got the setup with the Wraith Fire Blast, GPK. He's able to reach in straight away. Astral, Sanity, looking for the burst. It isn't quite enough to kill Collapse, but they are able to find the follow. Kingslayer comes in with the flames to nuke him down. You see the ghost come out. They're trying to commit on them, but a great stump from Mira catches both GPK and Nightfall. They bring down the OD. They'll bring down Nightfall at once. See if they can do it a second time in. Mass backup coming in from VP.
The boys are back in town.
They try and chase, but
Radiant's
DM's not going to be able to get in
middle
range for
tower
the
is under
roll.
attack.
Kingslayer was 1 creep away from level 6, otherwise he can save GPK there. Unfortunate. That was a sick double stun from Mira. The Knicks making a big
Radiant's
play there. And
middle
you can see the
tower
power of
is
the
under
position
attack.
5 Death Prophet. Even though
Dire's
he's
middle
effectively just
tower
naked
is under
boots.
attack.
With ult up, like he's doing just as much damage as a mid-hero would with that already. And enough to burn.
Collapse.
On the Wraith too.
He came around to the mid lane. Still on his own though, and DM was ready.
Takes its course.
Not the place for Collapse to be.
No, he doesn't seem very comfortable on this Nature's Prophet. The rotations he's made thus far have been ineffective and just hasn't been able to play around his team. A bit, again, kind of exposed by his draft. Like, Medusa not really going to help you very much in this early to mid-game portion. And a stolen tree.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Getting this extra bit of pressure onto the mid tower, but they're holding it. Fortification popped. And with the Medusa in position, they can clear out the summons.
Toro is pretty fat, though. Isn't Medusa, after all.
And sort of in both of the games, we have seen yatoro hit some solid timings. His game's never really been shaken up too much. Even in that second game where they're getting beaten down, he did have a fair bit built up on the Ursa. A very tough game to play. Spirit just continuing to hold this mid layer
Dire's
at the map,
top
not
tower
leaving
is
DM
under
the
attack.
chance to pressure it.
No, Yatoro.
Dire's structures
stack.
are fortified.
No!
Dire's
Oh,
top
the
tower
ancients
is
don't
under
spawn.
attack.
It's gold, Owen. It's gone.
On efficiency. There's now mid. Tier 1 does finally fall. VP able to claim it, but at the same time collapse.
Dire's
Toronto-Tokyo
top tower
take the
has
trade
fallen.
top.
You'll have Orchid soon on Collapse, and then things get a little easier for you. You know, there's Virtus for a lot of them. There's no Oracle in the vicinity. This OD specifically is susceptible to getting hopped on. You got a Nyx for scouting, Void Spirit, a lot of high reach. And once again, this series has slowed down.
Dire's
All
top
3
tower
games have
is
been
under attack.
slower pace than I think perhaps the people at home would prefer. But this one, 3rd game, both sides being a little
Dire are
conservative. I think VP is
Dire's
quite
top
comfortable
tower
with this.
is
They
under
have a
attack.
Wraith King
Dire's structures
radiance
are
momentarily.
fortified.
In fact, he should grab it after the next spawn of Ancients. Again, the Meteor Hammer interrupted just to slow down the push. Yatoro. So sad whenever I see it's like worse than not Midasing on cooldown when you don't get your Ancients to spawn. It's just gold straight out of your pocket.
Treasury. Illusion.
That illusion, that will speed up his farm a
Dire's
little bit.
top tower
I want
is
to start
under
clearing
attack.
the waves in the mid lane. Summers he's sticking to the jungle. Still, Nightfall just pretty much even. I mean, him and Nightfall farming at a very competitive pace. Carries
Neck and neck.
in a good spot. Close game all round. VP just with that a slight lead in that ability to pressure a little more than Spirit Cam right now.
Dire's
Him
top
just
tower
14
is
minutes
under
in, and
attack.
we're having VP push at this tier 2.
I like
Radiant
this. Just
structures
take
are
control
fortified.
of the map. Oh, they got him.
The setup. Yeah, they get the Carapace and the Impale off, and Mira's actually away. Again, just sort of messing with VP and certainly making this tier 2 tower last a little
Dire's
longer.
middle tower is under
Just down
attack.
here on his own as an Nyx assassin, but it's enough to sort of mess with VP's attempted push.
Wraith King
Radiant's
has the
bottom
Radiance
tower
complete,
is
and
under
the
attack.
Halberd likely the next item. Really like that decision. It is super effective against Medusa and increases his evasion as well. Medusa needs a bunch of items in this game, but you can kind of see the timings, right? You're going to have this OD with the BKB, Necro 3 on Beastmaster, really strong. Side of Team Spirit, you got to delay. Eventually, the Medusa, he'll have that Scotty, which is queued up now, and the MKB or possibly the Rapier. That's when the balance of power really shifts back towards this Radiant side.
Radiant are scanning.
But until then, it should be the Virtus.Pro show. And indeed, they will smoke out. They are ready to rock and roll. Want a fight. Welcome it.
Let's see what they can get, can they? The setup for a little split up. Now we collapse. Mira, the only two in the lane down bottom. And they're moving in. Over to the side, they'll start on the DP. So they can burst through Miposhka, they can. Miposhka taken out. So now they turn their efforts over towards the tower push. Nightfall.
Gotta be careful here.
He's away. As they'll be able to protect the reincarnate.
I mean, that was so risky. Like, DM could have just roared the Medusa there, but they didn't expect him to just be that far out of position. Really
Dire's
wild. Like,
top
collapse
tower
isn't here.
is under attack.
Try to clear the trees here to find Mira. Well, they'll find him. This time round,
Radiant's
VP, they get what they
bottom
came for.
tower is
Tier
under
2
attack.
tower going down here.
Radiant's
15 minutes
bottom
in.
tower
Top
has
lane, they did
fallen.
do a lot of damage to VP's tier 2 as well, actually. But VP able to get back in time to keep it defended for some moments longer.
Dire's middle tower is
So
under
hard
attack.
to play a game like this because you just, you know, you have this Orchid on collapse, but I question what that does. Like, you don't have the map control. Just check out the wards. You know, look at the number of sentries placed around the map. You have outpost bottom as well now as VP. How does Furion ever force a pickoff, right? Do you feel confident like opening on GPK? You need at least 3 of your allies already circling. And yatoro, you know, he's a Medusa. He's just gonna farm. And it feels really awkward in these sorts of positions because you don't really have the capability to make offensive movement. You just kind of hold hands and hope for the best. We'll see if it pays off. It certainly did in the first game. Perhaps the Medusa will function as well as those multiple E-blades and magic damage did first.
I mean, when you're picking the hero, you're definitely sort of planning for, you know, to deal with situations like this and to just try and hold off, hold out.
It's only a 3K gold lead, but again, the profit, that's the key. We've heard players comment on this as well. Whenever Nature's Prophet is even in net worth, you feel you're actually behind. It's like an alchemist, you know, you're gonna get more out of the map naturally. Hang on, they found DM, no Necro.
Yeah, they're gonna get him. And he tries to get the roll off, he's not gonna get the chance to.
Under attack.
With DM gone, definitely puts a bit of a stop to the aggression off VP for his moments of
Are
death.
scanning.
Get a little bit of map control back, citrus wards, Mira hunting. Oh no, that's the stolen. You really want mid tower. They're gonna look for it. Got the TP, Nyx is in position.
Dire's
See what
middle
America set
tower
up on
is
two.
under attack.
The dust is out. They know he's around. Immediately turning with the Astral into the hammer. Comes crashing down onto Mira. Mira, he's going to fall. TORONTOTOKYO tried to jump into the back lines. But that acts with the silence going, but no follow-up. No one else able to reach that deep with him.
Great discipline from GPK there as well, holding the BKB, recognizing it wasn't necessary. And that again, that's the concern with this Spirit draft. Like, they just don't have damage right now. It's all about this Medusa. Profit, in theory, you know, if we're watching OG play, we'd probably see Seb much closer to the top of the net worth chart, but laning phase and mid-game rotations just didn't go as well as Collapse would have hoped. And they're going to try and take this bottom
Radiant's
outpost
middle
back.
tower is under attack.
And then look, oh, pre-TP, look at that, I love it. Very aware of the objectives on the side of Virtus.Pro. They saw him on the ward placed below. As soon as he starts walking up high ground, they're like, nope, it's our experience, thank you very much. They will trade runes 2 for 2. and Halberd complete on Nightfall. So again, the damage output, the damage reduction that Virtus.Pro offers now. Like you have a Medusa, rather, you have an Oracle, you have an Astral save, as we saw, to prevent Nightfall from burning his reincarnation on the push bottom. The evasion on the Wraith King now, the active disarm on either one of these two cores dealing range damage. Likely lose. Uphill battle for the Side of Spirit, but they should be used to it. As long as they're not quite out of stamina, they've still got a shot.
I mean, they're trying to bait something here with Nightfall at the front.
Dire's top tower is under
To say that
attack.
actually is the VPs are there. They're actually going to sweep top. They leave Nightfall mid. DM's looking for an opportunity here as GPK is going to start the action. They'll catch Mira. The rest of Spirit, they'll back off.
Oh, we got it.
Top tower has fallen.
It's a collapse. Solar Crest next item. He's still thinking about
He's
what
got a
to
lot of
buy.
money. Is there anything bigger that could be tempting him here?
I could see the Shard as a possibility, because I think you probably realize, like, we can't really fight. We're just trying to not die and push lanes, and Shard is certainly the best for that, but I don't mind Solar Crest either, because you're trying to turn this Deuce into a turret of damage. This
for
is the best item.
And
so.
he's got the shard and he's got the medallion, so still getting that Solar Crest, as you say.
Radiant are scared.
And yeah, into the pit they go. Maybe a little later than they would have liked, but you're feeling confident. The Nightfall is enormous, top of the net worth charts. Slightly less comfortable lead than perhaps you would hope. TORONTOTOKYO, he has the Essence Ring, he has Ags finished, so his AoE damage within a team fight is rather formidable. But oh no, not again.
GPK. Let's get against Scarlets here. We'll have TORONTOTOKYO trying to commit onto the back lines. He's trying to take down Kingslayer, but Kingslayer's fine. They turn, they've got the lockdown onto TORONTOTOKYO. He's going to get blown up by the Stanity's Eclipse. But the Void Spirit goes down. Yatoro is able to move in onto GPK, but the false promise is up. Kingslayer enabling GPK to keep fighting in here as he turns. Hammer not going to be hitting onto Yatoro as he steps out of the start, gets away with the Manta, but Nightfall, he's still in, trying to commit onto Miposhka. Miposhka siphoning him down though. Are the crits enough to off to the heals? They are. As the damage comes in, they find a third. They're now moving in onto the Medusa. Mira trying their best to help out from the start with the Impale, but they cannot keep Yatoro safe. As Nightfall, he doesn't even lose the reincarnate there. They can't even take him down the once.
Dire's bottom
Did a
tower
really
is
cool
under
move
attack.
there. Middle of fights, he was turning off Radiance to make proc the Carapace. And my concern, you look at the damage numbers. When the 5-position death is in second place, you've got some concerns. Not the greatest series thus far, unfortunately, from TORONTOTOKYO. Don't believe he even got the Essence Ring off there. Effectively just showed up and died. And I just don't know what you do here. Oh, and like lanes, sure they went a little better, but
Radiant's top
Look at
tower
this
is
replay
under
again.
attack.
yeah.
I mean, at the beginning, it looked like there was a
Void
chance.
Spirit.
He's trying to get in. He blows everything really on Kingslayer, but Kingslayer already got the Fate's Edict off.
Lifted, smacked, smacked. Kapow! And it's the big, I mean, it's a BKB on OD. First usage, it's a great effect. Like, what does a Void Spirit do to this hero now, especially with this item build? And I don't blame him necessarily. Like, this is a...
Well, this is a build, you know, getting that Axe first, but for sure, if you're behind it, the damage is definitely a problem.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
a concern. Like, this mid lane,
Radiant's top tower
VP,
is under attack.
incredible in lanes, but
Radiant's
yeah, he
top
did go for
tower
the shards.
is
Like,
full.
recognize, yeah, I got to shove lane way more time. But when your one playmaker is the one who is shut down in lane, it ruins your entire game plan
Radiant's
as a
top
team,
tower
because
is under
suddenly
attack.
Prophet doesn't feel like there's anywhere to play around.
Dire's structures
Nobody can actually
are
make active
fortified.
moves. Also, love it. Quelling Blade on the Rubick. We've seen the OD carrying tangos for most of this game. Brown is not a method of CC if you itemize properly, and they got him. Or not.
We'll off the mark with the combo, but Mira still dead for sure. You know, he's looking tough. It's all going to be down to yatoro. Can he carry this game? Rapier queued up next. That's the way he's got to go. He's had to go it 3 times, or well, this will be the 3rd time this series.
Bounty.
Game 1, it certainly had its merits. Game 2, the game was already in a state where Rapier wouldn't be able to save it. This time around, this game is definitely more savable with the Rapier Medusa than last game was with the Rapier Ursa, right? Like there is more of a chance that yatoro can hold and at least make it very hard for VP to close the game.
Tower is under attack.
There is always a chance. I fear because there's just nothing to help him. There's a medallion.
There's a Solar Crest. He's nearly got it done, right? Okay, it's 600
Radiant's middle
away.
tower has fallen.
But there's no support. There's no buffs. There's no save.
Radiant's
It's just
bottom tower
yatoro
is
versus
under
the
attack.
world. And he'll need to harvest a lot of his anime power in order to take this W. And in addition, he'll need some more time. That Rapier is still a ways away.
It's all right. Gonna put the stone gauge. We'll see this time. Miposhka, Astral, set up into the hammer. He's gone. yatoro will manage to CP out though. He's over into the tree line and he's away.
He didn't toggle split shot either, or mana shield. So now you have a Rubick with a stone gaze. But bottom is being pressured. You know, Collapse doing his job. Shove the lane, shove the lane.
Radiant's top
Soon
tower
to be a
is under
Shiva's
attack.
on GPK, and the damage reduction on the Medusa is going to build up. Solar Crest soon to be complete on DM as well. It's a really nice choice.
DD room squad waiting up top. I think he scouts that out. Yeah, Collapse and Mira just continuing to try their best to play out on the map. Put pressure on, take attention away from yatoro's farming movements.
Uproot you.
I like the VP decision and the way they've altered their itemization. You know, a blink
Dire's
on the
bottom
OD
tower is under
that you
attack.
get your hammer, a blink on the Beastmaster after the Necro 3, recognizing what went wrong in the first game. We couldn't kill him, and they have not had that issue in either of the following games. yatoro in a very aggressive.
No, he's going to want to TP out. I mean, he has got to TP in a few seconds. I think he's just going to
Radiant's
sort of
bottom
as deep
tower
as a
is
position as he
under
can, so there's no chance they find him. Surely he's going to want to get out of here. And send the illusions out. And that, surely he's getting out. Yeah, he's getting out. He's not sticking here any longer. That's a good job as
Just in
well.
time.
Yeah. Immediately on the hunt as soon as the illusions show their face in the lane.
Regeneration.
Not really much to discuss. When will the Rapier come out? Soon. Until then, it's a game of keep away. And I don't know if they're going to succeed. They have found enemies. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, Spirit, nobody near DM. It was just him.
Oh,
doing the
no.
dewarding.
He's
What happened?
changing his mind, Kyle.
What? No, that you do not buy a butterfly.
I mean, evasion is very strong against these two heroes that don't really want to be building an MKB. He's got the tunic, so it'll add up to quite a bit, but you don't think a butterfly's going to cut it for the turnaround.
I think that the best defense is a good offense, and right now Spirit
Radiant are
is
scanning.
not dealing damage. Evasion is good against all these cores on VP, but you're just gonna still die to the spell damage. There's a lot of lockdown, there's a lot of disable, and unfortunately for you, no one else on your team is really gonna be able to do anything to the enemy. Like maybe they, I don't know, we'll see.
I mean, because if they can keep playing like this, he might have the chance, yatoro, to get the butterfly and the rapier before anything really happens. I mean, sure, yeah, but you are definitely playing for VP
Radiant's
to not
middle
try and push
tower
and take
is under
objectives,
attack.
but the game has been pretty peaceful. He's getting space as the Medusa.
I mean, they're just waiting for Roche. And you're playing against AC and Shivas. So it's a 45 attack speed minus
Radiant's
and 10
bottom
armor
tower is under
that you're
attack.
facing as a disadvantage in terms of like the global team engagement. And an Oracle, you're gonna need a hell of a fight. I'm trying to find ways. I'm like, how does Spirit do this? And it was all about the
If
rapier.
they can get the butterfly and then the rapier, And he's
Okay.
got the butterfly.
Okay.
So, you know, with that with the tunic, how much evasion does he have? He's got 46% evasion. So, you know, effectively doubling his HP here. So he's incredibly tanky. I was queuing up BKB and MKB. He's really turned away from that rapier decision. I wonder what made him sort of change his mind.
Have this.
Maybe he feels that the game has gotten to a more comfortable place. You know, maybe he feels, you know, VP, they've not managed to close it up. And he can sort of go back to the original plan of the build-up that he wanted to do, rather than feeling the need to sort of get the desperate early rapier into his build. And he's going back to what he wanted to do initially.
They've succeeded in their goal. I mean, VP, they've been forced into this tedious type of game that, you know, they're not huge fans of. But they're just playing mistake-free thus far. I mean, it's 15-2. You can't really ask for much more of them. Look at that. That's the Radiance toggle. This man, he's been doing it all game.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him really get tripped up by it at all this match. Nightfall.
It just shows that he's got that global game
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
in a carry player. I mean, it's the... You know, it's not something you really see very often. It's rather nuanced. It'll go unnoticed a lot of the time, but doing it consistently as he just walks around. Can't see the TP. Roche is up. Let's just fetch it off. Maybe we'll lose our tier 2, but yeah, something must be
Radiant's top
sacrificed.
tower is under attack.
I think they're going to give it once again to K.
No, I'd imagine so. As no interest from Spirit to
Dire's
head over
bottom
here.
tower is under
Toro.
attack. Roshan has fallen.
That's
Dire's
one of the
bottom
BKB.
tower has
Nightfall
fallen.
has something else. He had bought it. I mean, he finished the AC, but I swore he should have more gold than this. He hasn't bought anything. And there's the BKB. He had Sanj Kaya queued up at first, but that is by far the better decision. Mira gets the Carapace off, but you just can't make things happen here. In fact, you gotta be careful if your team's screwed. There's no Yatoro here.
Yeah, they're getting up. And they don't want to try and fight VP right now. As it really is. It's falling to the same pattern as game one, where Spirit are doing a good job of not getting caught off guard.
How long has it been since we had a kill? God,
Wait.
it's been a while. Wards, towers,
There we go.
okay, it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, only 10 minutes.
Maybe we'll get one soon. I can feel it.
Maybe. I mean, if Spirit's able to keep playing like this, I don't think they're going to be giving up any sort of little kill here to VP.
Into the base. Hold the high ground. Vlad's picked up like all the items coming online for VP. They are at the level of siege ability.
Radiant structures.
They're just gonna buff up this Wraith King and let him hit the base. And BKB rather finished on the Medusa, so we should be able to stand and fight.
Jump in. Start things off with the Astral. That's the tier 3 gone.
Has fallen.
Collapses up top
Dire's
though.
top
His
tower
bigger
is
tree ants
under
with his
attack.
Solar Crest gonna start dealing some base damage.
Oh, indeed. Nice man to dodge here with the Ray Fire Blast. But Raw's going to be committed onto the mixing stash, and they'll get Mira. TORONTOTOKYO tries to jump in. Stone Gaze and BKB pop by yatoro as they start to push back GPK and Nightfall. GPK getting low. Kingslayer comes in the force path to keep them safe. She's keeping this Nightfall Wraith King alive, making sure that he doesn't lose the ult right now, but they're getting ratted pretty
Dire's
hard
top
here, Kyle.
barracks are under attack.
Nature's prophet things, man. These tree ants.
I mean, a range racks and half the HP of the melee racks in one burst there from these treants.
He'll pay for it with his life, of course, but I think
creeping
they'll...
around
Wait! Okay, I thought he was actually close to getting the melee.
And they've managed to chase him, Spirit, as they've caught Kingslayer. They do lose Collapse. GPK able to kill him off.
Yep.
But I mean, if they can play like this, if they can hold the base around the Medusa and get the profit out in these sort of ways, it is going to make it harder for VP to close this one out.
And I mean, VP they're playing a solid game, but you gotta think that loss in game one will weigh on them. Like, it's so frustrating to play this game. Like, I've been here before. You see this, you're like, it's 17-3. Yes. Like, but the goddamn rats, the rats, they're everywhere. They're top, they're
Pushing
bottom.
into this, very farm Medusa, again, yatoro. He's got the gold, and I'm glad to see he did change that MKB up for the rapier. I mean, you get the rapier now. And
You're not leaving your base anyway.
No, anytime he's on the high ground popping that BKB, you're not going to be able to walk at this butterfly rapier Medusa.
Are scanning.
At least it's going to be very hard to do so without taking a huge amount of damage. And that then means that VP's in a position where they have to put a lot of resources, pretty much their whole team, into trying to seize the high ground. That of course does mean that map is it's going to be open for Collapse to do his thing.
And that was your big timing for VP. Like, they're not going to get much stronger in this game in comparison to Spirit, like, ever. They had Aegis, they had these armor item timings. The Rapier will equalize the damage output. The one benefit is, unlike the CK, the Wraith King is a royalty of a different sort. Like, this hero will not fall off. You don't have to worry about your illusions just getting popped, and if your ultimate effectively...
Sure, but how does he sort of stand up against Medusa in the...
That's a great question.
Trace stages.
Abyssal helps. Swift Blink helps. Like, you have a lot more you can pick up on. 17 to 3, 17K. Trying to think. Is there something we're missing? Ready to look to Twitch chat. Like, hey guys, what would you like us to talk about? Because Lord knows we're gonna have time. Roshan won't spawn for another 3.5 minutes.
Games. It's just not what's happening, but I feel like that's kind of I think it's the Spirit plan. This is what Spirit want. Yeah, how about this anyway? I feel like do we ever really see this? We've got the Aghanims on Oracle, Carl. Check this one out.
Oh, I've never seen this. Fate's Edict no longer causes enemies to be disarmed or enemies to be immune to magic damage.
I think it's allies to be disarmed, right? Yeah, it's allies to be disarmed. If it no longer causes enemies to disarm, that'd be kind of bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good, actually. You just put that on the Wraith King now. So that's how you deal with Medusa now. You're going to just buff your Wraith King. He's going to get Solar Crested. He's going to get Edicted. You're going to spam heals. He'll also be immune to the magic damage of the Void Spirit and the Nyx.
Yeah. So it's only really Medusa's damage output that he has to worry about.
And also, man, yatoro, he knows no fear. He is buying the relic in advance. No buyback now, and no Rapier complete either.
He's close.
Will eventually be ready to fight you.
There we go.
In a while.
And they're back in. Toilet break has come to an end. Hope you've all managed to get back as well.
Tier 4 items.
Are scanning.
This probably doesn't matter if you're still on the toilet. You probably won't miss anything. Take your time in the toilet, out the back. You got time.
They're looking to maybe make a play bottom. But they see Kingslayer behind. Just spamming Shadow Amulet to make sure his OD stays safe, and they're aware. And immediately Spirit are like, oh god, there's more than one. We gotta go. I also appreciate that this whole game, Mira has been swapping between the Philosopher's Stone and the Psychic Headband.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. Make sure you're making that money. Oh, that's a nice one. Trickster.
There we go.
I want to the point where do you even just give that to Yatoro? He's got the ninja. Yeah, okay, he's going to want to favor that anyway. But someone's definitely going to make use of this cloak. Surely, cloak is so strong. Yeah, they're going to give it to Collapse. Help him with the sort of the wrap potential, given that ability to sneak away in the shadows.
It's funny, Yatoro really isn't getting that much farm anymore. Forced to just play so defensive.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's what they've been doing so far. It's working out. They're not losing the game.
Like,
Radiant's
they use a smoke.
Has been
oh, sorry, that was the ninja.
Oh, he does lose his courier though. So for the next 3.5 minutes, he's going to get the money. They're going to have to make a trip out with him to the secret shop if he wants to pick up that rapier. He's not going to have any other way to get it out.
Roshan might spawn in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be a fight over it. And Nightfall is like, enough of this. I'm going to get a rapier of my own.
I mean, he needs it. You know, Butterfly and on the Medusa, it's already enough. You've got to have something to fight through this evasion. And you have to have some serious amount of damage to know that when you do commit on that Medusa, if you are able to close the gap in your Toro, you're going to be able to kill him. He's heading out. He's not got anything to sell though, really.
Yeah, what is
what's
happening here?
I don't know how he's gonna. He's not gonna. There's nothing to farm here, so a little unfortunate. If he was hoping for the ancients and the large camp to be there, because that would have been enough to get the rapier gold. But now it's a scary game.
Okay, he's got it. He's got it.
Oh,
and he gets the courier. Oh, the rapier! Wait.
No, it wasn't that courier. It was a different courier. He was that was Oracle's courier. That was Oracle. It wasn't the rapier courier. Nightfall was.
Oh my God.
He was picking it up by hand at the top shop. But
My
no.
heart just
Yes,
dropped.
because it did happen at the same time. Rapier and then courier. No, that was Save's courier. We still did have Save's Eon Disc recipe.
Tower is under attack.
So that.
Whoa, Miposhka.
Right, so we've got the double rapiers out. For Nightfall. And collapse.
I will
We're fine.
rise next season. I'll be creeping around.
That's collapse gone.
It's all right though. Level 16. No big deal. Respawn in 40 seconds. It's at level 17 when the respawn timers really start to scale upwards. You hit the max per level death respawn added. So until then, smooth sailing.
Have a look at this again here. Collapse. Boom.
How'd they find him?
Was he under?
Oh, dive bomb. He got dive
He
bomb.
did. The shard's out. Boom. Gotta watch out for these birds. It was that author that warned us about the birds. You're smart, Kyle.
What? Warn us about the bird.
The birds.
You mean a movie like The Bird?
Yeah. Oh, it was a director, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes.
He warned us about the birds. Mira. He's going out.
Someone should have warned you.
And they've got the damage. I got that kill. DM standing a little too close to enemy territory there.
I mean, can you blame him? He was perhaps a little lulled to sleep. This is the first time he's encountered enemies in what feels like 20 minutes.
He might have taken a toilet break.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, Roche isn't. Wait, Roche.
It's about to be.
Roche is up.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they had it for some reason. Yeah, that's a
No, they were
wild
waiting.
death.
It wasn't up yet. I mean, for a full minute, do you think they can go into the pit and take this whilst the Beastmaster's down?
I think so.
Yeah. They've got Deso as well on.
I love that. And the
on Toronto.
overcorruption,
And
yeah.
that's a lot of minus armor.
All about that Medusa damage.
Sorry, that's a assassin. It's Nightfall. He's going to step. I mean, it's scary. It's spooky around this pit. Who's going to commit for this? Buyback from Mira.
Okay. Does that mean you're going to go for?
I mean,
Roche?
30
Dang.
seconds. The Beastmaster. Dion's going to be back up soon.
They've
got to do it
a lot of
quick.
Time. Maybe it's the timing because he won't want to buy back with only 20 seconds left. But
He can't.
Toro,
He hasn't got it.
oh, the stolen mana burn from miles away.
That's going to be strong. Not a bad steal to grab.
What? Okay, well, 6 minutes past the time. They do collect their 4th tier 4 neutral item. Feel good about that, but Dire's side is in the base, or in the pit rather. Nightfall ready to rock and roll. He has his shard
Dire's
too,
top
so mana
barracks
burn
are
will
under
not be a
attack.
concern. Oh, and top though, the
The
melee
base. Someone's got to get back and deal with the Treants. Look at them go, Kyle. They're pretty strong.
They
Dire
can't really
are
enter the
scanning.
pit. Hang on, they might find Nightfall, but look at, again, toggling the Radiance. That is like, he's got some real strong mental fortitude. At this point, if I'm playing Wraith King, I am just so mad I'm not toggling my Radiance anymore. Like, I'm doing this
At
for
this
like
point,
30
Kyle,
goddamn minutes.
if you're playing Wraith King, you haven't got the Radiant.
That's not true.
Dire's
2 Rapiers though.
Oh! Easy courier.
No steps. He has the talent though, should be okay. Yatoro showing, gotta be careful. They've
Takes it. They're able to get the jump straight away. Yatoro, they're on top of him. He's gone! A beautiful jump there from VP as Spirit were not ready for that. Immediately collapsing onto Yatoro. They just couldn't help him. They couldn't save him. And just like that, Nightfall, he's dual wielding now. Double rapiers on the Wraith King.
Warglaives are activated. Cannot believe that just happened. Like,
Mortality.
I mean, they weren't ready
What?
for that one bit. I mean, what
no, Yatoro wasn't ready for that. No one's showing on the map. Like, do you expect VP to just not do anything the entire game?
I mean, what's sort of the criticism that you can't be standing there as a deucer, or what? Like, how did that sort of come to
You see
right?
0 heroes on the map. You are alone. There's no save behind you. like, yeah, you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All right, I mean, yeah, they got an out there with a double rapier, Aegis, Wraith King. As Nightfall's just looking to close it, roars out, boom, boom.
Radiant's middle tower.
As that is Miposhka down and out, he'll buy back. GPK, he's immediately going to kill Miposhka second time. It's over. It is over. Double rapiers on
Radiant's
Nightfall.
middle tower is under attack.
As how do they stop this map? They're going to try. Stone Gaze is out. Defensive Astral buys him some protection against the ultimate. Can they stop Nightfall? A stolen Stone Gaze from Slave coming in with the counterplay. TORONTOTOKYO trying to jump in. Medusa will get frozen for now. Nightfall's over towards him. They're onto yatoro. yatoro trying to get himself back towards the fountain. And they're going to beat them down low. Sanity's glimpse doesn't quite kill him off. But they're focusing the Ancient. They're looking to close it up. As Team Spirit desperately trying to slow down Nightfall. But this Ancient, it'll fall as VP will secure the win here. And after a very sort of peaceful mid-game, it does all come to a very abrupt